Hello, this is Mark Serwotka, the General Secretary of PCS, and I'm bringing you the latest update on the things the union's been doing on your behalf to deal with the coronavirus. Let me start by hoping that all people watching this and your family and friends are safe and well, and assure you that the union is here to stand up for you to make sure that you are kept safe in this period ahead. Now, let me firstly tell you that we have spent this week having dozens of meetings with employers right across the civil service, public sector and in the private sector. We've had meetings with the Cabinet Office and meetings with government ministers. And we continue to make some really important progress. For example, we have secured really good understandings for private sector workers that should cover people's arrangements to be paid properly and at the correct rate if they are off sick or if they are self-isolating. I can also tell you that next week we're hoping to conclude a series of agreements covering a whole range of terms and conditions with the Cabinet Office, and we hope to be able to publish that to you next week. And we will hold a Facebook Live event where any member can come on and ask questions to ensure that you get up-to-date information. I can also tell you that during this week we have raised with employers further issues to build on the success we've had that sees 80% now of members working from home, but we've continued to press that employers need to do more to purchase IT equipment, meaning that more of us can be safe and at home. Any progress, we will bring you that next week. But I now want to turn to two alarming things that happened in the last week to give you an indication of what the union is doing on your behalf and why a strong union in the workplace is key to keeping us safe at this time. Now, firstly, there's the example of what's happened this week in HMRC. Tragically, in Salford, in Trinity Bridge House, a member of PCS passed away with suspected coronavirus. Now, that is a tragedy. And when a tragedy like that occurs, we expect employers to immediately do the right thing to reassure staff and keep them safe. That is why we requested the office be immediately closed, a deep clean takes place, that a full risk assessment should happen, and that there should be tracing of all those who may have come into contact with anyone who is infected to ensure people could be told to self-isolate. Now, unfortunately, those reasonable demands that were put forward did not get agreed straight away. And this situation dragged on far longer than it should have, causing real concerns for our members in the workplace. Now, I can tell you that in the end, we did secure the agreement we wanted. The office has been closed, and indeed there will now be a deep clean and a risk assessment. And we're going to try and turn that into a national civil service-wide agreement to cover all workplaces in the event that there is a suspected or a confirmed case of coronavirus. But the point I want to emphasise here is we wouldn't have got to that position had it not been for the union being strong at local level, with excellent reps on the ground listening to the members' concerns, with really hard negotiators in HMRC group raising issues with the management, and that allowed us nationally to also push the case with the Cabinet Office. So the lesson there really is, wherever you work, if something's happening that makes you concerned, contact the union, and if the union is well organised, we will hopefully be able to reach a satisfactory outcome. And that takes me on to the last point, which is the crazy situation that has developed today in the passport offices. Members will have seen on the media that today workers in the passport office have been told they're now expected after Easter to return to work to process passports. An agreement that saw only skeleton staff in the workplace is now being overturned, and staff have been told, believe it or not, by the employer, they're now expected to turn up for work, and that the employer has told staff in a message that they expect up to 80% of the population will catch the coronavirus. We have to just get on with it, and, quote, you are no more in danger in the workplace than you are in the supermarket or at home. Now, that is being said on the day that I, like many of you, have had a letter from the government telling us the one thing we should do to keep safe is to stay at home. And yet here we have the passport office asking people to report for work to do non-essential work. This cannot be allowed to stand. So our reps in the passport offices and the Home Office group have done an excellent job in the last few days trying to persuade the Home Office management that this must stop. So far they haven't agreed. So this morning I've raised that directly with Michael Gove, and we've now had 2 further meetings with the Cabinet Office making it clear that this decision must be reversed. We believe it is not safe to ask people currently at home to ignore the government's advice and report for work to do non-essential duties. Now, I hope the employers see sense, and I hope that if not today, over the course of the weekend, that they will confirm that that decision has been rescinded. If they don't do that, we will consult lawyers and we will take all available measures to give advice to our members to try and keep people safe. So I'm going to finish really with this. Both the HMRC incident, the Passport Office incident, and many others across the country confirm that whilst most employers are doing the right thing, sometimes employers don't. And when that is the case, a strong union can make the difference as to whether you are kept safe or whether you're exposed to unnecessary risks. So please get involved in the union. Contact us if you have any worries. And if you know of any friends or colleagues who are not in PCS, urge them to join. Thanks very much for listening, and I'll bring you a further update next week.